the meeting chat. You can feel free to use either the chat or the do we have Q&A? I don't think we have Q&A in this one. Use the chat, just makes things easier. So we'll go ahead and use the chat on this one. So to start with, just in case anyone doesn't know us, my name is Donna Bachowski, and I'm one of the educators here at ByWater Solutions. I also have with me Sarah Brown. She is one of the other educators. She is based out of Maryland. I'm in Northern Kentucky. We also have Katrina, who is our newest member of the education team. She is in Texas. And actually, I think she has it on the calendar to see if she can get by to Round Rock for opening. So we'll see. And then we also have Heba with us on our education team, and she is in Kansas. So we're kind of scattered all over the place. I love seeing everyone's coming in and seeing, y'all are all over the place with this one. So to start with, let me ask the education team, what's your favorite part of 2205? What's your favorite little feature that came out in it? Sarah?
I'm muted here. Oh, let me see. I like the split for expiration dates on holds between a patron set expiration date and the system generated expiration date. I think it will make things much easier for, of course, holds that are reverted. It's going to improve library's experience with that, and also for any kind of troubleshooting when there are mysteries with what happened with a certain hold. I think it'll be a great improvement all around.
Excellent. Right, Katrina, what about you? What was your favorite part of 2205?
I'm not going to steal Heba's thunder because her favorite is actually my favorite too. But I also really like the ability for patron suggestions by ISBN to automatically search Google Books and pull in the author and title.
Very cool. Yeah, that is a neat enhancement. And Heba, gosh, what's your favorite part?
It's still got to be the links and reports. Like, I've spent a lot of hours neck deep in reports, and just to have everything boom right there is magical.
Yeah, I do love that ability. I've got a couple that I really like. Probably the three that I've gotten asked the most for all came in this release. One is the ability to go ahead and print your circ rules. You can export them to a CSV. You can go ahead and just print them from the screen. I love that ability because we've had folks ask for that sort of thing too, and it's a monster to typically print. So I love being able to do that. I love that lists are now editable by other staff members. We always had to come up with so many workarounds for that, where you created a separate account and people would log in as that one to be able to edit a list that everyone's working on. So I love now that you have the permission to go ahead and edit the lists, or open the list up to staff members to be able to edit those. And then probably the last one that we get so many requests for is with your quick spine label creator, being able to edit it before you print it. Again, love that function that I can go ahead and print that label out, but I can make any tweaks to it that I need to right there without having to go out back and do anything. So lots of really cool little functions in there. What about y'all that are here? Is there anything that you are just wowed over? Or are there anything that you have questions over? You can either unmute yourself or you can put them in the chat. Oh, Michael, yeah, the welcome email for new online cards. That is again one of those things that's really kind of a neat functionality, because before the only time you would get that welcome email is when you would go ahead and create that account basically in front of them and have all that information in there. But now you can go ahead and generate that welcome email anytime you want to. Maureen, I'm with you. Patrons can now delete the hold history. I'm all about privacy, and so I love being able to give the patrons the control over that also. Jen is with Heba and Katrina and myself also, and probably Sarah too, that automatic linking report, getting all of that data in there instead of having to do those concats and those sorts of things is really, really a nice functionality. So. What else? Anything that y'all are struggling with? We have identified a few issues that are being actively worked on. Nothing too terrible, although I know that issues are very terrible when you're the one that's experiencing them. But typically, we've only found a couple of libraries with any of those issues, and we've been able to come up with workarounds for most of those. And we are pushing the patches as we get those. Is there anything you really don't like about this version? Set up password expiration for staff accounts. Yes. I know the staff are not going to be thrilled with that sort of thing, but again, we need to focus on security and safety and all of that sort of stuff. So making sure that staff accounts, their passwords are renewed on a regular basis is really fantastic. And that is also with that 2FA, the two-factor authentication, I think is really fantastic for the staff accounts, being able to set that up on a per user basis. There you go, Andrew. You can, it's all on how you present it. Well, we're going to make you, do your password on a regular basis, but at least you don't have to do 2FA. Kristen, struggling with a new way to clear our hold shelf in the morning. Tell us what's going on with that one. Is that part, were you automatically canceling holds? Yep, that's what it is. Okay, so for those of you that haven't seen this yet or haven't dealt with this, the way Koha is functioning is when you have it set to automatically cancel the holds, and you are anonymizing information, patron information, it takes the patron's name off of that report that you're typically running to clear that hold shelf. So you're just seeing a lot of anonymous, basically, patrons on your clear holds list. So a couple of options for that. One is to not automatically cancel the holds. The idea with that one is, since staff are physically having to touch the items anyways, you just go ahead and cancel it when you check that item in. I don't think we found another option with Heba. Was there a report or anything? I don't think we were able to pull that data because it's anonymizing it immediately. So we're losing that data very quickly. Yeah, so that is one of those things to kind of be aware of. If you are automatically canceling holds, that is going to be an issue for y'all.
I think one idea we had was that people could set how long something is kept instead of deleting immediately, to put a little delay in it by like a day or two. I don't know if that was a solution we found that worked.
Okay. Andrew has pointed out that is in the action logs if you are logging holds data. So if you are logging the holds data, we should be able to go ahead and create a report pulling from the action logs. They are a little involved, so it may take us a couple of times to get it absolutely perfect for you, but that is an option if you want to stay with that automatic canceling of holds. Yeah, sorry, Kristen, that was, none of us saw that coming, unfortunately. Emily loves the real-time holds queue. It is really helpful for y'all to be able to do that. That is one of those things that's, as soon as an action is taken on a bib, it updates that holds queue. We've had a few issues with some background jobs. Our systems team has been going fast and furious, adapting and changing and going back and forth. There's lots of really rapid conversations happening in Slack that I understand about 1 word in 10, but they are getting those going together and getting that all fixed and running straight. So that real-time holds queue. One of the things that we do want to point out to everyone, if you meet these criteria, and that is if you are running real-time holds queue and you are using static, I never get the system preference right, static holds queue wait, whatever that one is, where you put those in there. If you are skipping closed libraries with that system preference and running real-time holds queue, make sure you let us know, because we need to add a cron to basically restart that every morning. Koha doesn't know what to do with a closed library. It doesn't know how to reopen it basically in that real-time holds queue. So we're just adding a little morning kick to it each day to go ahead and get that restarted so that the holds are processing the way they're supposed to. So just a heads up to think about with that one if you are seeing weird things with your holds. And Andrew, of course, with his amazing reports, we're all going to copy that one and see what it is. Bob, that is based on the calendar. So if a library has marked itself closed in the calendar, that's where it's pulling those from. Excellent. Yeah, holds Q skip closed. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. I just type keywords in when I'm looking for my system preferences. I never know the full names of them. So, fantastic. Any feedback from your staff? I mean, have they even noticed that there's been a change? This was one of the smaller upgrades. There's not not major functionality changes, but there has been a little bit. So. Payment type has a none selected when it was defaulting to the first option, which was cash, and that's the majority. Nick, we probably can do something with that. I know that there was a lot of changes in the jQuery, and we're finding those as we go, so it's possible that might have been something like that. If you would go ahead and open a ticket, because I know Lucas can set some jQuery on some of those to go ahead and have it default to a specific entry. So yeah, we can do that one. Catalogers notice the upload image change and they like it. Yay! We always want to make catalogers happy with that one. So that one is a nice little change. I don't think we showed that one in the training in the Q&A. Okay, let me go ahead and I'll share my screen real quick and we'll just go ahead and walk through that so everyone can see what we're talking about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come over here. Okay, and images. I'm going to upload. And right here, I can drag and drop. So if I have that image on my computer already, I can go ahead and just pull that over. Or I can go ahead and, again, do that continue where I go ahead and do the standard click to select a file. So let me grab an image real quick. Okay, you can see the full preview of it. I can go ahead and process my images. Shows me everything on there. I can see the existing image. I can delete it if I want to. I can go straight back to that bib record and see that image. So again, nice little quick option to be able to display those cover images. Teresa, was that on the staff interface? We did identify a bug where if you're using the CoCe cover server, it's misbehaving a little bit. So what you will do is in your system preferences, let me find, you're going to do what we tell you to never do, which is have multiple ones selected right now until we get the bug fixed. What you'll want to do is you'll want to turn on the Amazon cover images to show, in addition to have the CoCe cover images turned on also. We are at it. We always say, no, don't have both of them on. In this case, if you set it to show, it'll go ahead and pull those in for you. Again, it's a bug. It's almost patched already, but in the time, oh, Lucas said it didn't give enough. Oh, you didn't give it enough time to. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, and I just want to point out real quick, if you didn't see the one of the things that I absolutely love, and again, in that circ and find rules, we have our little export button here so that I can, okay, got it. Koha didn't give it enough time to load. We can go ahead and export our circ rules to either Excel or a CSV file if you're using something else, or I can go ahead and print those out. And when I go ahead and generate that print, it's a little ugly, and it still does cut off some, so kind of be aware of that. I would definitely suggest with this one, just because that table is so big, exporting it to a CSV. But again, you don't have to copy and paste. You can do an automatic export and then bring it in and print it through your regular spreadsheet. What else? Y'all know if we don't get more questions and comments, I'm just going to start telling my really bad jokes again. Meg, all right, small thing I've noticed from the cataloging record import reservoir. The import date is stuck on 10/4/2022 and has not changed. Ooh. Let's see here. Actually, let me just do a cataloging search. We probably have something in here.
This is happening, Megan, the import date for all of your imports. Okay, interesting.
Huh. All right, let me try bringing something in. Let's see here. Let's do Blizzard. Okay, mine is updating. So, Meg, would you mind opening a ticket for us? And we'll take a look and see what's happening. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the first we've heard. But again, that's not something that we see on a regular basis. So definitely, throw that ticket in for us and we'll take a look and dig and see what's going on with it. All right, what else? Again, you don't have to type. You can feel free to unmute yourself and speak up if you'd rather do it that way. Have the welcome messages always existed? They have, Teresa, but in a slightly different functionality. So the way it used to be is in the tools, you do have that notice, which is actually called, because it would make perfect sense, it's called account details. That was the notification that would be sent out to a patron. But the criteria is it had to be a new registration where you enter an email, and I believe it's a user ID or barcode, something like that. There was several pieces of data that had to be entered in the first time you save it in order for the message to be triggered to be sent out. So you can imagine there was a lot of times when that notice did not get sent out. So it did always exist. It was just very, kind of restricted in the use of it. So now we have the ability that when you go into that patron's record, that you can go ahead and send out that welcome notice anytime you want to. So just under that more functionality, you have that send welcome email. You just click on that. And it goes ahead and sends it automatically. It does run off the queue, so it's sent typically every 15 minutes that queue processes, but you can go ahead and see that notice with whatever information you've put in there. So nice functionality to be able to make sure you've sent that out so that the patron gets that welcome notice with all that information. And in that notice, you do have the ability to go ahead and customize it with your text, logos, URLs, all of that sort of stuff, just like any of the other notices.
You can also now send that from your patron imports. So if you've partnered with a local school and you're bringing in a bunch of school cards, you can trigger a message to all of those new users as well when you do the patron import, which it couldn't do before.
The account details notice will still work. If you want to keep using that one, that's fine. And that is a system preference. If you have it turned on, that will still work. But you will have two different notices then, depending on what's happening. If you're using the link from more and sending that welcome notice, you'll get this one. If you're doing it with the other one, you are going to be doing it through that account details. What I am predicting, and we'll see if this is right or not, but what I'm predicting is I think more libraries are going to turn off the account details notice and send that welcome notice instead. It's an extra click or two, but I think it's going to be much better to be able to send that because you can save the record and not have to worry about not triggering that welcome notice. So. Oh, excellent, Teresa. I'm glad you're going to be able to use the built-in Koha functionality instead. Yeah, and that's the thing is that you can put the logos in there. You can put, links in there. You can do all sorts of really cool stuff with that welcome notice. So I think it's a great idea. I know that no one on this call would ever do this, but I know you all will not be putting the password or PIN number for your patron in that notice. I know you won't do that. So subtle hint there. But yeah,
But
it's,
Anna, they literally cannot.
I know it's been
The
changed.
password will be
Pass it
hashed.
through.
It will not
It's
go
it's
through.
hashed. But you're not even going to think about putting it in there. It's not even going to be a hash value when the patron gets that notice. So just kind of be aware of that one in there. So, okay, let's see, Nick. When an account has an overdue item and that item has holds, the account checkout screen shows not allowed overdue. Can it say on hold like an item that is not overdue? We'll often override renewals for items overdue but not on hold. And that's okay. It's not new after the upgrade. But I will tell you, Nick, that you have kind of hit a trigger spot, I guess is probably the way to describe it, because every time we make a change to what displays first in that table, half the libraries get mad at us. And that's worldwide. That's not just ByWater. That's worldwide. So we're still trying to figure out how to make it work. It has something to do with what rejects the overdue. I'm not even going to pretend to be able to explain this. But really what it is how Koha looks at the item to see whether or not it can be renewed and the which things it checks first. So that is something that we are continually asking for. I think there might have been a bug on it. We'll make a note to look at the bug and see kind of where the discussion is. Ideally, it's one of those things that we would say, again, I'm not a developer, so I can wish for the moon. Can we make that a system preference to say check this, and this first, and show this one instead? So we'll look at that one and see what's going on. Yeah. And that is something that we do hear from libraries too, is that, if it's just overdue, I'll renew it, but if it's on hold, I'm not going to. Unhandled email failure, check the logs for further details. Ooh.
This is new.
That sounds really bad, Kristen. I'm teasing. It's not hot. It's okay. It's okay. I would say, Kristen, let's get a ticket open ASAP on that one, and seeing what's going on. It may not be anything critical. Katrina, can I ask you to ping systems real quick and just see if it's something they're familiar with? Maybe it's just something that I haven't seen. And all of that. So we'll see if they're aware of that one. And if not, we have put them on notice that they will soon see that ticket coming through. And that's one of the things that we say is, maybe it's related to the upgrade, maybe it's not, but always ask. Don't ever just assume that, oh yeah, this, because there's always something, even though it's computers, it's programmed by people. And so, we always say, make sure to let us know if you see anything unusual for it. And typically what we do is we have, so like our training site is on, 2205, and I can stop sharing right now. We don't need to keep staring at that blank screen. So our training site is on the same version that you all are on, but we also have training sites that have the previous versions on it. So we're able to kind of go back and compare behavior and make sure that it, how it was happening before, what's it doing now. So, let us do that groundwork. Let us kind of dig into it and see what's happening. You have enough other things that you're dealing with. Let us help with that.
One other feature.
Sorry?
Just one other feature that I wanted to mention, that when Heba brought up the ability to now send a welcome email from the patron's account, there's also now the ability to send a password reset email directly from the patron's account. That's another really nice one. I can share my screen and show you where that is. So it's just here under more, and this is where you would send that welcome email, and then also where you can send that password reset. So instead of having making it so that the patron has to request it from the OPAC, you can now do it right from here if they give you a call and say that they need their password reset.
That's very cool. I hadn't seen that one yet. Let's say we are also have a train site set on 2211, which we are very excited about. And I hope you all have seen the Monday Minutes that came out this week, where Kelly and Jesse were giving a preview of the new patron interface. And y'all can hear this train coming through. So I'm going to mute and let someone else talk for a couple of minutes.
So for anyone who hasn't seen the Monday minutes, and we'll get it in the chat in a moment, it is the staff interface has a whole new look. It's a lot cleaner in a lot of ways. So really encourage everyone to take a look and get sort of used to the layout. One of the great changes is that some of the cataloging tools, for instance, have been moved to the cataloging module. So we know that some people are really excited about that, to have all of that in one place. Grab that post and put it in the chat. See which of us can get to it first. Here it is. So this just gives you a preview of what that's going to look like. It's a whole new color scheme. It's a very different look, but we're really excited about that and about a lot of the new features coming. So please take a look and tell us what you think.
Oh, good question. Can you put the password reset logic in the welcome email to force them to set a new password out of the gate? I don't see why not. Well, we're going to look into that, Jason, and we'll let you know. I also know that there was a bug start somewhere in the community where it was forcing a reset on initial login. So we'll take a look at that, Jason, and see what we can find and let you know. Because that's a really cool idea of, we've set your account up, but the first thing you need to do is set a new password to it. Oh, see, Andrew. Bug 28980, add temporary passwords which must be reset after first login. Teresa, it is close to it is basically the same interface that was going around earlier. They did take the feedback from a lot of the folks all over the world that contributed to it and have made some changes to it. So we're going to be looking at those and seeing what we need to do as far as moving forward with it. Emily, I don't want to miss your question. Are any of those staff interface changes going to be visible if using Galadriel? No, because Galadriel is purely for the OPAC. It does not do anything on the staff interface. So you're not going to have to worry about anything changing there. One of the things that we are focusing on that we're going to be meeting with our web guru, Lucas, in the not too distant future. I know we have done lots of customizations for the staff interface for our partners, changing font size, changing background colors, forcing links in different places, hiding buttons, stuff like that. We are looking to see how much of that needs to be changed based on this new interface. So we're going to be digging into that and figuring out what we can do. We're also kind of try to come up with a checklist of, giving you a screenshot of the staff interface and saying this can be changed, this can't, because there's going to be some things that we can modify and some things that we can't do. So we're already working on taking a look at those and seeing what we can do with that sort of stuff. As it is right now, we are looking at these upgrades springish is the closest that we're getting as far as a date, but it'll probably be somewhere around May, we're thinking. We're actually starting our meetings in 2 weeks to start scheduling and looking at the issues and things like that. So Emily, that's one of those things that we're really focusing on this one, is that we're going to have a lot of those screenshots with before and after and arrows redirecting things and stuff like that, because we know that's going to be the biggest thing, is like, where did this go? So we're going to be really focusing on those sorts of things. So absolutely. I mean, I still can't remember whether I need to start in admin or tools for some stuff. So I'm going to be completely lost along with everybody else trying to find where things are. But the cataloging change, I think, is going to be really awesome, that all of those cataloging tools are now going to be in that cataloging section. Instead of having to go back and forth, you've got one screen. So I know the catalogers are going to be happy about that. Hopefully they'll be happy about that. A few less clicks. Looking for other questions or concerns. Actually, what I'll do I'm sure most of y'all have seen this already, but we'll give you a sneak peek here also while y'all are thinking of your questions about 2205. So here is the homepage of 2211 for the staff interface. So again, the general perspective of it is still there. Different color palette on it, definitely a cleaner view. The thing that I personally had the most trouble kind of finding, and it was just until I could see it, was this bar up here because it's a dark bar now, and I was used to the light background. So that took me the longest to adjust to, but everything is still there. The big difference is going to be here in your search bar. So previously it was very much this, and so now it is going to be a little bit more condensed and right here. So, but everything is still there. And for all of you catalogers, instead of coming here and having that third column that was all yours in the middle, when we go to cataloging, there we go, all of your cataloging tools right there in one spot. So definitely going to make it a little bit easier as you're moving around and trying to do different things. So it's exciting. It's obviously going to be a big change, but again, it's a great change, and just trying to make it a little bit more streamlined. And just kind of, it was due for a refresh, I think. So, kind of exciting, but we know that that is going to be the biggest challenge for your staff. A lot of times it's a different look, but it's not, everything is still there. Yeah, I like that it's all right there. Yeah. So, everything is going to still be there. It's just a little bit more condensed. Everything else, the colors have changed a little bit, things like that. But like when you bring up a patron, again, same sort of things. Yes, and you're absolutely right, Teresa. One of the biggest dings was that it was a very dated look in the staff client. So now it's got a fresher look for it. Again, you can see that things are a little bit different as far as sizes and things like that. But again, everything is still there. One of the biggest things that staff can be helpful with once we do go to this new version is giving feedback on what needs to be changed. Obviously, it's not perfect, but we had to start somewhere. So we've got this new version out. It's going to be really just for staff to kind of give feedback on, okay, it would be better if we can do X, Y, and Z sort of thing. But yeah, it's definitely a different look, but everything is still there, and hopefully it's going to be exciting for everyone to see that. So yeah, I know catalogers are going to be so happy. It's all right there. But we are already hard at work on doing the updates for that one, because we know it's going to be a big one, which is why the Monday Minutes came out so early. Again, it's just kind of getting staff accustomed to, hey, there's going to be a look to it. There's going to be a look change, but it's not really changing a whole lot of stuff. It's just how things look and a few little links. So. What other questions, concerns, comments about 2205 or 2211? Not that we can answer a whole lot about 2211 just yet, because we're still learning it too. Okay, so Jason brought up the new patron image upload. So you have the ability now to upload patron images a whole lot easier. You don't have to necessarily do that whole save on a different software and bring in. You can go ahead and do it directly, but there is a bug on it, bug 31492. You have to be on the details page in order to make it work right, which obviously is not what you're expecting a lot of times. So just kind of take a look at that and be aware of that one. And this may be an opportunity for more folks to upload images. I know that is a very divisive point in library land as to whether or not you have your patron images, and I've heard the arguments on both sides of it. So not judging, I'm going to stand right in the middle. But again, it is going to be one of those things that if you have wanted that ability to upload patron images, it's making it a whole lot easier now to be able to get those images into the patron record. Has there been an update on uploading an image for a title and how it apply to all of the item records? I'm not sure what that one is, Colleen. Anybody else on the education team familiar with that?
Not, but I will look.
Yeah, we have a lot of items in our system that don't have images. So I've been uploading images for the cover of the item. And when I do that, it either is not showing on the OPAC, which I have a ticket in for, but it's not showing up on the item record, and each item record says, oh, upload an image, upload an image, upload an image, instead of like I can apply it to the actual title image and have it display for the items. I don't know if that's necessarily necessary, but I know on some items I look at, that those photos do show up.
Well, that's really interesting. um, we're going to look at that, Colleen, and see what's going on there, because it should just apply to everything. So we'll find that ticket and we'll take a look and see, and add to that and see what's going on. Lisa, you said you were seeing extra images yesterday, in the staff interface or in the OPAC. Oh, cool. Superimposed over each other. That's a new one. Um, Definitely, if you haven't already given us a ticket with an example, please do, because that's a new one to us.
Yeah, one of the issues I have experienced was like when I add the image to an item and then I go and do the search to search our catalog, that search result won't show the image that I uploaded. It will still just show as blank, as if I hadn't uploaded an image. And that's on the staff side. And then if I do, like I've been starting to get into like doing cover flows for the displays that we have, then that image won't show on the cover flow. It'll just show as a blank image with like an X saying, that there was an error, that it didn't work.
Ooh, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, so I would just go in and I'm like going, oh, that makes a cover flow look messy. Then I just go in and end up having to take that item off the list because I can't get the image to display.
Yeah, no, it should be doing that. And I'm testing it right now to see. I mean, there shouldn't be that much of a delay in the indexing, that you should still see that when it's searching. Yeah, it's not showing up on mine either, and I would have expected it to. So we definitely need to look at that and see if there's some sort of delay with that cover image not showing. And I'm also wondering if it's related. I don't know. We need to look and see with that one. Is there a difference between the item image and the bib image? So it's actually all attached to the bib image. Everything is on that bib image, but some libraries, and I don't know if this is the case, some libraries do have some custom stuff in there, so I don't know for sure what's happening. We need to take a look at that one and see, but it should be that same image as we're going through stuff. Interesting. Good finds, y'all. Definitely stuff for us to be able to follow up on. And one of the things that we're doing too is we're trying to do a whole lot more documentation with these little things. We know that we do, a lot of documentation on some of the bigger stuff, but we're finding, more and more to be able to do the documentation on the little things. So. Oh, Teresa said they were adding a magazine image for each item. Okay. I don't know that I've seen a lot of libraries do individual item images. So we'll want to take a look and see what we've got going on with that one. Let's see here. If I add another image, let's see, we'll do that one.
Donna, I attached 2 images to individual items on a record in this example here.
Okay, so let me share the screen. So it is showing in the OPAC, okay. And then I did it on this one. I was able to have a bib level cover image and an item level cover image. But I think where Colleen is talking though, is that if I do a search here, it's not showing up here. That is also entirely possible that this is because this is our test system and we really mess things up. That there's no telling if it's something that we've changed or if it's actually an issue. So we're going to have to, in cases like this, what we do is we have someone pull a copy from master and that's not been touched and manipulated horribly like ours is, and have branches like Sparkly Unicorn Land. Okay. So yeah, we'll take a look into that one and see what's happening with all of those sorts of good things. What do y'all education team think? I think we're going to have a conversation with Lucas fairly soon, aren't we? Hey, Lucas, explain this to us. What's supposed to show where? But excellent. These are exactly the sorts of things that we love hearing from y'all of, this is kind of odd. So we can take a look at those and see what's happening. And again, we can, the more we know, the more that we can document and just get that information out there for future us to be and future you to take a look at. Okay. Anything else, y'all? No? So y'all know that means I'm going to have to start telling really bad jokes. Well, I got to come up with new ones because most of mine, the ByWater team has already heard over the last few days. I do have a pun a day calendar this year, which is really awesome. What do you, most of y'all probably heard this one, but this was yesterday, it's on the pun a day calendar. What do you get when a short psychic escapes from jail? You get a small medium at large.
I love it.
All right, and on that note, we will end this.
That seems an appropriate stopping point.
Absolutely. Please, as always, holler if there's anything we can do for y'all. And we will be putting out a survey asking for feedback on this round of upgrades and educational and that sort of stuff. And please give us your honest answers to that one. It helps make us all better. So we will be following up. We will be posting the questions and answers onto the Upgrades Hub, and we'll probably be contacting a few of you directly to find out what's happening and get a little more details. Have an awesome day, awesome week, and an awesome 2023, right? Bye, everyone.